Hello. Hello, race fans. This is Larry Supermouth Huffman, AMA Hall of Fame announcer. And this isn't Supercross, it's Wednesday! And you're watching Bay Fishing with Roman and Brian. Stand by while the boys teach secrets of bay bass fishing with Roman on his 6-second nitro-burning pedal drive kayak. And Brian in his Cool Baits high-speed dragster boat that he takes out every Sunday! Be there!
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I missed the button there, and I clicked on Brian sitting there by himself on this boat, wondering what's going on. Welcome back, Brian. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm ready to start the new year. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. See if we still got this. It's been so long, I kind of forget.
Right? Do we still got this? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out shortly. How's everybody doing tonight? Say hello in the chat if you haven't already. Hit that like button, please, on your way in, and type in bit. Or if you have the bit emoji, you can use the bit emoji to let everybody know that you hit that like button on the way in. First point of order here. Shout out to the first chat or the first comment of the evening. Sorry, today you got beat by Leonard. Let's go. Next time, if you want to be the first comment, you got to comment harder. Let's go. Leonard. Woo. Oh, the audience is a little loud today. Sorry. I like the energy, but tone it down a little bit. All right, go ahead.
That reminds me, Eric in chat, Eric the judge. Are we doing teams again this year in Spotty Bowl?
Oh.
Because we got to select them because we only got a week to go, right? So are we doing that? Shoot, that was so much fun last year. Bay Creepers.
That's true.
The Pirates.
Yeah. We'll decide that and let everybody know as soon as we do. Eric. That's good. Okay, so we got a good show for you guys tonight, as you can see from the title. Fishing rod power and action. Okay?
Yeah, power and action.
Power and action. There you go. The visual. That's a great way to display the rods like that. It gets the point across. All right, perfect. Okay, and then so we have some announcements for you. So we have pop top announcements for you, and then we're gonna do we're doing the content first. Or we're doing the PB shoutouts.
Announcements. Then we go to our presentation of rod power and action. We're gonna talk about that. If you guys are looking to buy a new rod or thinking of what the heck is all this stuff on my rod, what's a rod do? How come there's all these specialty rods? We're gonna try to break that down. It's a hard thing to explain, Roman, but I'm gonna try my best here. And then PB shout outs, everybody that sent me in all their PBs for 2021 or memorable catches. I'm gonna go over that, good. And at the end, we always have a little fun. But yeah, shout outs, cool. Man. Let's do some shout outs here.
Let's see who's in here. We got Leonard, we got Aaron, Big Water Yak Fishing. What up? Welcome, Cast Queen in the house. What up, Cast Queen? Welcome. We have Eric Queen? The Judge Lehman. Shower time. Be back in 10 minutes. Don't think about that. Don't think about that. We got Adventures with Outside Kid with Outside Kayak Guy. What up, dude? What up, Outside Kayak Guy? Welcome back. We have Carl Black is back. What up? Welcome back, Carl. We have Oscar636. What up, Oscar? Let's go. Joe Diego, welcome back. Nice, dude. I see Mr. Cal, Cave Dog himself. What up, Cal? Welcome back. Bit. Celtic Dangler in the house. Thanks for taking care of those crazy bots again. Gonna be AFK, but listening. Cool. All right, Big Water. Sounds good. Ooh. I see a lot of deletions for Outside Kayak Guy. Okay. Well, okay. Wow. I missed a lot of stuff there while we were setting up. Hopefully it was,
I think it was just a little emojis or something.
Okay. Well, maybe something will catch me up later. All right. Let's keep it rolling, guys. We're trying to be, okay. We got Spinning Rod Rebel. What up, Marvin? Welcome back. We got Peter. Welcome back, Peter. Doug. El Sueño in the house. Welcome back, Doug. Wharf TV. What up, Coach?
Yo, Coach.
Let's see.
Get that world record yet?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Captain Adobo is back. What up, Captain Adobo?
Yo,
Ghost.
Captain
What up, Ghost? Let's go. Real Dreamer. All right, boys.
Right there.
Let's kick off the show, guys. You know how we do it. Beginning of every show, we do a little pop top action. So grab yourself a nice, refreshing beverage. It doesn't have to be a pop top. It doesn't even have to be alcoholic. It just has to be a drink so you can hang out with us and toast the new year. What up, Seawolf? Welcome back. On a scale of 1 to
Yo,
10, 10
Sewell?
being the best pop top you ever heard in your life, 1 being the worst. Say it with me. Rate that
this
pop top.
Pop top.
Go ahead.
Sparkling water as normal. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what 2022 is going to bring me. I'm not putting it so close to Mike anymore.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What do you guys think? Scale of 1 to
I gotta
10.
rotate
10
this.
being the best. Minus the pour. The pour does not count. Penalty points. Actually deducts. Nice. So 8.5, 8.7. I like it. I like it. What up, Freshwood?
Thank you.
Welcome.
10.
What up,
What's
fellas?
up? Spinning Rod Rebel
Freshwood.
Marvin. Woo. Thank you, Marvin.
Got kicked out of the ocean looking for halibut and lobster in Santa Barbara Monday night. What?
Looking, not catching.
Maybe it was diving.
Oh, gotcha.
Interesting. Ghost 8.7. Okay. To separate Brian's score from my score, go ahead and put into the chat what you are having as a drink tonight. Let us know. What are you having tonight for a drink?
It smells pretty good.
I snuck in a little session, a little fishing session, and
Today?
yeah, a little short session, and dude, I was gonna rip this bit. I was like swinging so hard, I was gonna rip this thing, dude, and I swung hard because I wanted to check it out. There, right? It's like a big heavy, not big heavy, but medium, a bigger bait.
Right?
And so, extra heavy rod, and I caught there's canvas that wraps around docks, right?
Yeah, with the boats like
Yeah.
or
So that doesn't mess
keeping
with the
boats
boat
from
too
getting
much.
scratched?
Yeah. And I snagged it like halfway through my swing. I was swinging hard too,
Oh,
and like I can feel like in my thumb here, like it's weird. Like it was like all that impact. Boom! And I felt like my thumb kind of popped out or something for like a split second. So now I'm starting to feel it now. I'm like, damn, that hurts.
Oh.
Yeah.
You get a bird's nest out of that, or were you fully buttoned down?
I was pretty much buttoned down, so it just kind of like,
Oh.
but yeah, it hurt.
And did you look around to see if anybody saw it?
I caught it on video for sure.
Oh yeah, even better.
It's the worst. Oh, nice. Belgian Beaver hard seltzer water. Hard seltzer water?
What the
Interesting.
heck is that?
Yeah, Belgian Beaver, they have a good peanut butter stout. That's a good beer. Ballast Point IPA, okay.
White Claw?
Yeah, dude, it was bad.
Aqua?
What up, Zach? What up, Muto? Welcome. Cool. All right, I'm gonna do my pop top on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life. 1 being the worst. Say it with me. Rate this pop top.
Pop top. Sorry, I was behind. Ooh, nice. Okay, red can. Let me see the top of the can, see if I can guess that Zebia.
Oh, it's not Zevia.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm getting a phone call here.
I get a call from
I'm sorry.
from Pocahontas or something. Who are you gonna call from?
My son, he's out fishing right now. He
What do
must
you
have
have
caught something crazy.
We have a flute. That's so funny.
You don't know that music? That's Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Let me
that's
turn my-
right. That's right. The
turn
Shire
this off.
took me back to the
You
Shire.
got
Okay,
it.
very cool. All right, let's get the scores. Oh, I got a 7. I got a 9. What up, Mr. Kevin Nakata in the house? What up, Kevin? T Samurai.
Yo, Kevin.
All right, let's rock. Let's do this. Let's get through,
All right,
let's do some announcements.
Let's get this going. Seems like we're rambling here. We're going too long here.
I'm chilling.
All right, announcements. So we've got an announcement coming up. Big announcement. Guess what, guys? Spotting Bowl is only 2 weeks away. So you've got this weekend. If you want to get in a pre-fish, if you can only fish on the weekends like me, this is your pre-fish weekend. And then next week, January, I think is it the 14th and 15th is this weekend? I think that's the date. That's the opening round 1 of Spotty Bowl. So if you haven't paid, go to spottybowl.com, pay, get on board. Let's do this. Let's get as many people as we can involved in this. This is going to be an excellent time, especially for guys that didn't fish it last year. I guarantee that if you fish this Spotty Bowl, by the end of Spotty Bowl, you'll have learned a ton about spotty fishing because it forces you to work outside of the box. It forces you to learn different things. You're going to be seeing other people. You're going to be hearing other people doing stuff because these guys are awesome. They share their knowledge. And I guarantee it's going to be worth your money. What is it, $53?
Yeah.
That's the cheapest spotty education you're ever going to get. And plus, you can have fun. You're going to be out on the water anyway fishing, right?
That's the cheapest 6 tournaments you're ever going to jump into.
Yeah. What is that? Less than $10 a tournament?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Math's hard. Yeah. So, I mean, and you have the option of winning a prize and maybe even some cash at the end and maybe a side pot. There's all kinds of options with Spotty Bowl. So I definitely recommend it. I had fun doing it last year. I learned a ton from these guys. I think this year is even going to be harder for the guys that fished it last year because I think me and Roman taught you guys way too much now. And now we're going to be hard to beat you.
That's hilarious.
Hey, that's it. We got to step up our game, right, Roman?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Wait. Over here? There it goes.
Yep. There it is.
Very nice. So,
all right. So that's my Spotty Bowl announcements.
That's hilarious. Okay, so then the next announcement is we do have angler so Mac of the Year still happening. We need to figure out who the Mac of the Year is going to be, and you guys need to vote. You vote by letting Eric know who you want to be the Mac of the Year from the people that are nominated in the Mac of the Year category in our Discord. Okay, so that was a long way of saying that. Get it done by January 8th. That's a deadline. January 8th is the last day you could vote. You could vote on that day. But try to work with the judge, guys. Don't let him vote.
Discord.
Yeah. Don't try to vote like at 11:59 and mess up his count. Let him sleep. Let the judge sleep. He's got work to do.
No stinking sleep.
But yeah, okay. Try to get your vote in before that, okay? Or don't try. Get your vote in before that, okay?
You almost got the line right. It's do or do
There's
not.
no try.
There you go.
There's no try. Do or do not. Oh, right on cue with the what? What's going on over here?
What?
I like how it HCX Pulsar in the house. What up, Oscar? MMFC Texas chapter in the house. What up? Welcome to the show. Goal. Nice.
Man, I know how you're doing videos on reviewing people's kayaks. I wish you could do Oscars because I've seen pictures of that thing, and to me, he's got the most tricked out kayak I've ever seen.
Nice.
It's crazy.
We could probably do something remote.
Yeah, let's do a remote reveal.
That'd be nice.
Texas style. They go big out there.
Very nice. Cool. And then what's the next topic on the announcements?
Angler, okay. We were going to talk about, you talked briefly about on Monday about the Cedros Island. And now that you think you've got a little bit of feedback.
I got more information, but I'm not going to tell anybody anything yet. Oh, just kidding. I just had some conversations today on the phone, facilitated by Mr. Nakata. So thank you, Kevin. And we are on schedule. I booked, or I reserved, or got, or made it known that we want to do up to four dates. Oh, sorry, not 4 dates, 4 trips. That's a lot of trips, guys. It's a lot of trips.
How many people per trip?
6.
Gotcha.
6 people per trip. And I'm still we're still when I mentioned that on Monday, I got some great feedback from from the judge and a couple others about priority, right? Because we thought it was only going to be 1 or 2 trips. I still want to take that into consideration. And I guess what I'm trying to say, the short version of what I'm trying to say is I'm going to give priority to the people that have been supporting the channel and been growing, helping us grow the most, right? And it doesn't have to be financial growth, financial support. It could be just that you're always there when we need you, and you show up to our events, and you're like a staple in our club. Like, everybody knows who you are in our club. You're like a leader within the club. That's what I'm trying to say. So look for an invitation, and then once those go through, then we'll open it up to the rest of the group, the rest of our group, right? My initial thought was to do it, was to open it up and see who could do it, and then. But anyway, let's just not go into too far. That's what we're gonna go with. I think that's great feedback from Mr. Eric Lehman, and we're gonna go with it. I think it's the right thing, or the better thing to do at this point. So
summer of 2022.
Yeah, it'll be in July. We have 2 dates in July, and we have 2 dates in September. So and when I say dates, in July, we're going to have a 5-day and a 4-day option. And then in September, we're also going to have a 5-day and a 4-day option. And each one, it's basically four trips. And those trips each can have up to 6 people. Okay. Well, actually, it's going to be 5 people. 5 people. I'll be the 6th
My
one.
advice, if you guys are thinking about going, make sure you have your passport, because sometimes those take a little while to get. So if you think about going, you don't have a passport, you better go get one.
Very cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you have time. You have time to get the passport. But get it anyway, because there's other trips we might do now that these floodgates have opened up, and if I see there's interest and we can't satisfy that need 100% with these trips, we can do trips that are maybe more that are bigger as far as like capacity, right? And they don't necessarily have to be out of the U.S. So we can do other stuff. Don't worry, guys. We got you guys covered.
There you go.
Okay.
Cool. I say we take a trip and go visit Oscar.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
And let Oscar show us what's going on in Texas.
Nice. All right, cool. That's what we got. And then we have some more announcements, right?
We got 2 more announcements. Unfortunately, we have an announcement about Don Hansen.
Yeah, Don Hansen. I didn't get to meet him personally, right? But I know I guess I kind of know him through like some of the works that he's done or he's been a part of. So he's a founder of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, guys. And I'm going to read from a text that Arnie sent me. Thanks again, Arnie, for making this known to me. There we go. So he was the founder of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Dan Hansen passed away yesterday. He was the father of Donna Kales, manager of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and seminar speaker, and a seminar speaker. He was also captain. He was also, he's also the father of seminar speaker Captain Dave Henson. There we go. He was a stalwart. So he was a stalwart supporter of CCA and the sport fishing industry. He will be truly missed. Awarded the Anthony Hayes Conservation Award in October. Actually, that's crazy. That's cool. So one of the things that Dan was working on, and one of the things, and it kind of like I guess by coincidence, there happens to be that there's an issue that's arisen over the past couple of it's been an ongoing thing. I'm going to try to summarize here as quickly as possible. Over the years, there's been an issue with ocean access in La Jolla related to like the seal population. That seal population that's in La Jolla is not a native seal population, and then we're going to get a little bit political here, guys. But it's related to our access to the water as a diver, for example, and to even launch a vessel or even swim in the water, or fish it, right? So it affects all of us. If divers and anglers were to have each other's backs, then you present a more unified front. And when anglers need the diver community to come through, you can get basically better. You could fight. You could be stronger together, right? So Dan was also concerned with the Sierra, what the Sierra Club is doing here in La Jolla. They started about, it's been years, like maybe like 20, 30 years ago, that they started to want to block access to the children's pool for like use by humans, because they wanted to have a place for the seals to have their pups. And so they started by doing what they called at the time an emergency closure, right? And it was supposed to be an emergency closure. It was because it was supposed to be temporary so that the seals could have their pups and then they would leave, right? And then slowly and gradually they eroded more and more access, because when that permit came out, as a diver or as somebody that's trying to use that beach, you're not allowed to, because you're going to disturb the seals, right? And so Children's Pool, the original idea behind Children's Pool was a gift from the Scripps family to the children of La Jolla, so that they could have a place to safely get in and out of the water without being affected by the surf. Okay, it just so happens to be that that's a really nice place for seals to chill and like have their pups too, right?
It's the perfect little cove.
Yeah, and seals are there all the time, looking all cute, and they lost out to the kids. Sorry, kids, right? And so it's kind of it's funny, but like this is not a joke. right? And so they continued pressing until eventually they got the city to approve. Not an emergency closure, but a regular closure of this beach every season, right? So they took it another step further, right? And then I'm not sure what the status is of it, now recently, but for the most part now it's closed most of the time now to walking down there. If you walk down there and snap a picture or something and the seals take off and flush, that's like legally it's a crime. You flush the seals, you disturbed
harassing them,
a protected species, right?
Yeah.
And so just remember the original history of this place it wasn't there for the seals, it was for the kids, and the seals got introduced to La Jolla, according to my understanding of it, by I guess by SeaWorld releasing animals they had worked on back into the wild. They ended up releasing them nearby as opposed to taking them where they originally were from, I guess, right? So that's how that got started there, according to the way I understand it. And I may be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that last piece, but nevertheless, this was happening, okay? Now, what that same club, that same organization that's trying to push for more closures, they want to expand that little program that they're doing there into the adjacent beaches. So if you're standing on the beach looking out into the ocean, on the wall at Children's Pool to the right, you have Boomer's Beach, or I think it's called Boomer. And to the left, I forget what that's called, but it's the next little cove right to the left of that on the other side of the lifeguard tower, where people have been hanging out because they got kicked out of the children's pool. And that's it's a relatively kind of safer way to get in. That's where I take my kids actually to that one. And they're trying to push now for temporary emergency closures on those two adjacent beaches. So they're basically expanding that same formula, right? The reason I'm bringing this up during the show is that they have a meeting tomorrow, a Zoom call. They're gonna have a Zoom call tomorrow. I'm gonna email you guys the information, kind of like a brief summary of what I just talked about, and all the Zoom call information, so you guys can go and call in and register and say like, hey, we don't want more beach closures. We want beach access. And if you're open to it, if you have the time to do it, please do so. It's also one of the things that will affect overall fishing in general, because next thing you know, they're going to keep expanding it, and even Coach won't be able to fish off those rocks anymore, right? So, I mean, it's true. It's like
yeah.
You see it happening. We saw it happening with Children's Pool. We thought, okay, it's just going to be Children's Pool, but we still fought it all the way through, and then they still kept at it, and next thing you know, now it's done, and now it's spreading, right? So we gotta keep that in check. Okay, I know seals are super cute. I understand that, but the reasoning behind why they want these closures is because they think that the seals need protection from the elements, right? These are wild animals. They live in the ocean. They're not gonna drown. That's right. Anyway, so that'll be going out to you guys. Sorry it took a little bit longer than expected, but I'm super passionate about this topic, and we have this platform. I have the platform. Even if it's just 2 more people or 3 more people that call in to this Zoom call and just make it known that you are pro beach access. You don't want any more of your beach access taken away. Like, please just call in, and yeah. We'll end it there. Just know that's coming through your email box probably tonight.
And like Zach says, they've always got the bait barge. I mean, man.
I know, dude. It's like, anyway.
That's their home.
Yeah. So, yeah. There you go. So, that's funny. That's funny. Nice. I like that. A comedic relief. All right. And then,
you want some comedic relief?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Let's start this out. I'm going to try to start out 2022 with a bang. All right. Are you ready, Ron?
That's true, Muto, right there. It's true. Go ahead.
What did one butt cheek say to the other? Together, we can stop this crap.
Jesus.
It's a good segue out of that, right?
Yes. What's it? Joe says, can we share the link some other way than email to those not part of it? Yes, Joe.
You think that was amazing? I know, but I don't think Roman heard me correctly.
No, I heard you. It's so funny.
They're all downhill from there, though. That's my best.
Through
my home run.
You threw the home run right off the bat.
Right.
That's funny.
All right, is that it for announcements? Are you gonna post a link? Are we done with that?
I think we had Oh, here we go. I'm gonna post this site. This is an organization that I know the guys I know the people on the board of this organization, and they are the people that have been kind of fighting against the closures of Children's Pool and the adjacent beaches. So I'm gonna put a link in the chat for this organization. They're called Friends of the Children's Pool. Okay, friendsofthechildren'spool.com. For those of you who don't have our Discord or our email list, here you go. It's in the chat, and that'll explain more of the topic that'll explain it better than I did. Brian, I'm really. Oh. I'll read that right now. But that'll explain it better if you guys don't have Discord or not on my email list. If you're not on my email list, though, you should jump on my email list because you're missing out on a lot of cool stuff. Or on Discord. Email list is romancastro.com / just go to romancastro.com and sign up to the email list at the bottom of the link. Eric with the $5 super chat saying, Brian, I'm looking forward to movie reviews. Really?
Are we doing movie reviews? I thought I was banned. Okay, maybe. All right. This one's for you, Cal.
Let's go, Cal.
What did the bald man say when he received a comb for his birthday? I'll never part with this. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, that's not a good one.
That's funny.
Sorry to catch you there. Go ahead, keep going.
I think that's all we have as far as the announcements. Right. And again, it's sad when people pass away, and our condolences to the family, of course. And yeah, it's just the best you can do is remember them, and it'll be easy to remember Don because of all of the work he's done and also through his family. So good deal.
Tight lines, Don. Okay. You ready to get on to our first segment here, Roman? We have gone through announcements. We said we weren't going to do so many announcements anymore, but hey, we just did 28 minutes of announcements.
You guys are okay with announcements, right? Let me know in the chat. You guys are okay with this, with having announcements and just catching up and making sure that everybody's on the same page. I mean, we went through a lot. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
there's a lot needed to be said, right?
Yep.
All right, so if you guys saw the title on today's show, I'm going to try to explain to you rod, power, and action. There is a difference between the two. Guys that have been fishing for a long time know the difference between action and power, but I'm going to try to explain it to you guys. So first thing I'm going to do is a visual presentation. So I'm going to go to screen share, Roman.
Oh, screen share. There you go. Let me know when it's up, and then I'll switch over. I'll see it actually over here. I'm going to go. Say what's up? 40 concurrent viewers, guys. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. We're about to get into some rod, power, action, selection, what it means, all that stuff is. So
that's right.
Hang out. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're watching from a tablet or a phone, you might have to exit the chat, hit that like, come back in the chat. Let me know you did it by typing in bit into the chat or using the emoji bit if you have it. And if you don't have it, this is how you get it. You click on the join button, become an official member of the Mad Max Fishing Club house, and you'll be able to have a sweet badge like these people here, Arnie, Zach, Eric, and you'll be able to have access to the emojis like the bit. Guys, can you spam the emojis for a little bit just so people can see? And then we're going to go to Brian with this rod, power, and action presentation. Let's go.
All right. Let's go. All right, guys, so the very first portion of this, I'm just going to give you some visuals on this because it's a lot easier for me than demonstrating it. But after this, we're actually going to break down these rods. I'm going to show you my rods, how to use them, how to make selections, and what to look for when you're looking for a specific rod that does a specific, I guess, job or a specific bait. All right, rod power selection. We ready to go, Roman?
Yeah. What's the turn to take a breath
First
from
of
the
all,
last
I
one?
always start at the foundation. You guys know that. I like to just basically break down a fishing rod just so you guys are familiar with the parts. If you're brand new to fishing, you may have no idea. Most of you guys know this, but okay, so you have many parts of a rod. You have the handle, which is back here, down below. Those can come in split grips, coarse grips,
Sorry, Brian.
synthetic grips.
Brian, pause. Stephen Gage just joined the Mad Max Fishing Club. Welcome, Stephen. You're going to find yourself amongst fellow anglers that are equally as passionate about fishing as you are. Super supportive and willing to help you get better.
That's the best way to get me to stop talking because I can no longer hear. So I am waiting. All right, we good?
Almost. Just going to need the double tap. Here we go.
Okay. So you got the handle here down below. You have a reel seat. That's where actual reel will connect. If you ever wonder what that little piece right here is, that's actually your hook keeper. That's what will hold your lure or hook to your rod. This is the blank. And then you have your guides and the tip. And also on the rear here, this is called the butt end or the butt. Many different types of rods.
D-A-B-U-T?
What's that?
How do you spell that? D-A-B-U-T?
What are you looking at?
The butt.
B-U-T-T. It's the only way to spell it. I know.
No,
All right. There's
D-A.
many types of rods,
Never
guys.
mind.
So when selecting a rod, you want to know what kind of fish you're fishing for. So there's rods that are made for surf fishing, like this one right here. It's got this long, big handle. That's obviously made for a big cast. You've got ones like this one right here. Maybe has a shorter handle. Maybe that's actually a fly rod right there.
Or for
You've
fencing.
got some that are for bait casters. So there's a lot of different types of handles on the rods. Rods have guides, and this breaks down the guides. If
That's
you
nice.
want to know all the parts of a guide, you all know that this is the eye, right? This one actually has an insert. Did you know that this is called the toe? And this is actually how it's wrapped to the rod itself. And then also the heel and the foot. And then these are the legs, which hold the guide.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
what attaches the leg to the guide is the shoulder. So those are actually the parts of a guide. So now you can describe your parts of a guide. I don't know when you'd ever do that, but now you know.
Just remember, no torso.
Just all legs, feet, and shoulders.
Legs to shoulders to eyes. Nice. It's like
And
a
toe.
monster.
And heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, no torso. Different types of guides.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got guides with insert. You got snake guides. You've got a single foot guide. Those are a lot seen on fly rods a lot. Or you've got a double foot. So you've got 2 feet on this one. Single foot guide. Trolling guides.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got the tip. You got different tips. You got a
What?
spin and casting tip. You
Is
got a
that-
boat tip, which looks like super heavy duty.
Yeah.
You got a fly tip.
Are these called
And if you-
tops or tips?
Tip. I call it tip. You call it top. We call it whatever we want, right?
Okay, cool.
Tip.
I like it.
If you ever go on like a commercial boat where they have those gigantic, where they're targeting something very heavy, you might see things called roller guides where they actually have a roller in them to assist with the line. Okay, and then when you pick up a rod, remember, guys, let's start with the foundation. So hang in there, guys. If you know all this, hang on there because we are going to be talking a lot. We're going to go more specifically into the rods, but just
Hang in
for
there,
people that are brand new to this, I gotta just show it what all this stuff is
Hang
on
in
a
there, you
rod.
experts.
That's right. Hang in there, you experts. We're going to get to the expert level soon. All right. So when you pick up a rod, each rod is stamped with basically its specifications. Usually it has the rod length, like this one, 7'6", the rod weight, which is also the power, which is this one is a medium. The line that is recommended to use on this rod, which affects this, and also the lure weight. One thing that this does not show is the action. If you have a fast action or a moderate action, slow, that's on a lot of rods also.
Extra
So you
fast.
always want to look at the specifications, and we're going to talk later about why we want to look at those. Okay. Now that we're talking a little bit into the action, I drew this. No, I really didn't.
I was like, wow, Brian, you're stepping it up.
I'm getting good, huh? I'm getting good. Okay,
I was like,
so
wow.
there's action in these rods. And when you see the word action, you usually see like fast action or moderate action. And that is the actual action of the rod. A fast action rod.
So let's use another word for the action. It could be the bend, okay? Where?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with action, but yeah, bend is a good way to represent that. So in a fast action rod, the power of the rod is actually hit in like the first quarter of the rod. So this is where it's going to get tricky, guys. You know what? I'm going to save this for when I actually have my rod in my hand.
Okay.
But this is where we're going with this right here, guys. Different actions. They make different actions for different types of baits. Fast action being up here on top, slow on the bottom. So you can see the different types of baits that you would use for those type of actions. And we're going to talk about that later, why also. Here's another representation of the different bends for slow, medium, and fast. Fast action be using only the first quarter of the tip of the rod. When you go to a medium action, you're actually getting into about a third of it. And then when you get into a slow action, you may be all the way up to like 3/4 of the rod bending. And I'm going to tell you why, show you that in a little bit. And that is the end of that presentation. We're going to go live here, Roman. So let me exit out of my screen share.
All right, that was a bit abrupt, but I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
I'll give you a second.
Yeah. So it seems like the action is where the transition between the backbone and the bend happens. Like where on the rod does it happen? And that gives you lets you know how much of the rod you can use for how much of the rod you're actually using to cause action, I guess. Kevin, I lost my rod and reel to SC Bay Saturday. No, is Savage Gear what?
What?
In Savage Gear, what do you recommend for my new Ned rig setup? Ooh. Ooh. Hang on, Eric.
I'm going to recommend a fast action medium rod. In Central Kayak, I'd go with a shorter rod, maybe a 7 foot.
I'm gonna put you full screen, Brian. I'll put you full screen, Brian, for a second, okay?
Am I? Okay. Hold on, let me stop sharing here.
Oh, there you go. What up?
Sorry, I got distracted by Eric.
Yeah. Don't answer Eric's question. Don't answer Eric's question. Go check it out. I'll be right back.
Am I full screen?
Yeah. Talk about what's the next topic?
We're continuing with the rod and power, action and power.
All right. Okay. It's good. Go for it. Go for it. I'm gonna just step for like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Go for it.
Okay.
The bite was super slow in Newport. Oh, I don't want to hear that, Justin, because I am going up there this weekend for my SPS tournament pre-fish. All right, so first question you got to ask yourself when you're looking for a rod. What size fish are you going to be fishing? What lures are you fishing? Are you going to be fishing vertical? Are you going to be fishing deep? Are you going to be fishing through grass? Mainly what species are you targeting? And these are all questions you need to decide before you actually get to the store and decide what type of rod you're going to get. After I'm done talking, if you guys, it's hard for me to explain this. I'm going to try my best, but it's a hard subject to explain. But there's actually an article that Eddie Tyler wrote for Bass Resource, and I got a lot of my information from that. It's from 2010. I read it a long time ago, and it taught me a lot. So if you guys want to Google Eddie Tyler Bass Resource and just put in rod action or rod power, and it comes right up on Google. It's excellent. It's the best article I've read that describes this in detail. He's a rod maker, and he describes in detail on the differences between rods with the action and the differences with power.
All right.
I was just giving out my Google reference.
I like it.
Eddie Tyler.
Oh, cool. Yeah, my kid just found my Warzone channel. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, danger.
I know.
It's gonna mess with your ranking. Okay, so let me grab a rod back.
Cool. All right. Well. There you go. So real quick, we'll just kind of throw us in there. Where am I? Boom. All right, Eric. This is what you need right here. This is
is this the Ned rig setup?
The BattleTech. What is this one? This is a 7-1 medium light power. 6 to 10 pound line, 1/8 to 3/8 ounce lures. It's the BTFS 7-1 ML, or you could do an M as well. And this is a 1000 size reel. This is the SG6 1000. This is what I'll be fishing for the next couple of days.
That looks sick. I didn't even know they had that dark green spinning reel. I'm looking forward to getting my Savage gear.
Yeah, these are Kevin's setups. I haven't gotten mine either yet, Brian. But I'm gonna do some videos, and I want to I want to have these in the kayak in the rack. And so he let me borrow them. He let me borrow them for a second. But he said he's gonna take them right back if I don't go fishing right away. So I gotta go fish. I gotta go fish. Right?
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know,
it matches the
me
green.
and Roman are now also pro staff and sponsored by Savage Gear. If you missed our last show, we made that announcement. So we are both on board with Savage Gear right now. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Savage Gear.
Yeah, I really love the way that pairs with the gun, like the military like green metal here. Like it's super cool, very comfortable. Yeah, this 1,000 size reel is what I would do for the like my smaller baits, like my Ned rigs or my like really light Ned rigs. 2,500 size reel for my regular Ned rigging is what I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna have one of these and a 20 and the and actually I'm gonna get 2,500 one for my Ned rigging stuff. But this is a little bit of a lighter setup. But this is the rod you want. 7.1, I think.
Yeah, a little shorter, especially since you're in the yak.
Yeah.
I don't know what a Ned rig is, but it sounds like some kind of bait.
Especially with this on the kayak, you just gotta make sure that you can with your arm, in addition to your rod, you can swing it around the bow with like to go from either side. You're still much too short of a rod, but you have a big wingspan, so you're good. All right, let's do the second half of this.
All right, so action and power. Let's talk about action first. We're going to talk about the action of a rod. And action refers to the movement of the blank. Consider this whole rod the blank. So we're talking about the movement of the blank and how long it takes for this to get back to its rested position. So if you think about a fast action rod, like this one is, see how I'm bending it? Only the first quarter of this rod is actually bending until it hits the power. So a fast action rod gets back to that rested position like almost instantly. So that's referring to, that's why they're calling it fast. And they have extra fast and fast. Gets to that rested position very quickly. A soft action or moderate, when you pull this down, it doesn't hit the power of the rod until maybe a third of the way down, or even the slow action rods all the way down to like almost 3/4 of the way down the rod. So that takes a lot longer to get back to this rested position because it's bending so much extra rod. And we're going to talk about how fast action, the pros and cons of it, and also the pros and cons of slow and moderate. Okay, so benefit of fast action rod, Roman. And this is the number one benefit for me because most of the rods I use are fast action. The biggest benefit of this is that it actually is very sensitive. So think about when you're pulling something through the water, if it's only moving, let's say 8 inches of this rod, instead of hitting the power back here, it's a very sensitive. You're going to feel that sensitivity. It translates all the way down through this rod. So when you're fishing this thing and you're winding it in, and you're going to feel all those little nibbles, you're going to feel at the bottom. You're going to feel every little vibration because it has that extra fast tip, which gives it that extra sensitivity. They're normally a lot stiffer. So when you pick up one of these rods, we refer to some of these rods as like a noodle rod. And those are the ones that are like soft action or moderate action. And when you pick it up, it may feel real noodly. Like when you shake it, the whole rod is like, it's a wet noodle, right? Yep. With these fast action rods, they feel really stiff, really rigid, except for the last quarter portion of it. That's because, I'm going to say this once more time, that it bends and it's only using this first quarter of the rod right here until it hits that power. That's why it's fast action. I keep losing my earpiece here. My ear's sweating. So it transmits, the biggest advantage of that is that it transmits this down through the rod. You're going to feel that. And it's also, the great thing about this is a lot of us use single hooks. And when we're using a single hook, the hooks are generally bigger. So we're using these big single hooks. And in order to get that hook set and that big hook to penetrate through some of these fish that we're fishing for, halibuts, spotties, largemouth, whatever it is, their mouth is actually really hard. So to set that, when you feel that bite, to set that hook, that first little bit of that swing, you may only have a split second to set that hook, and with a fast action tip, it's going to hit that power very quickly. Maybe in distance from here to here, it's going to be in the power of that rod, And with those single hooks, you can get a much better hook set with a fast action rod. So and you can feel every little nibble with it. That's probably the biggest thing for me.
That makes sense. That's why you want that snapback basically. You want to use that as like a driver for the hook.
Exactly. So the second you're usually working something really sensitive with a single hook with these, and the second you feel it, you set that hook and it's into the power instantly. So it automatically just drives that hook right in there, and that's good for those single hooks. Okay, cons. There are a lot of cons to the fast action that will work against you when you're actually fighting the fish. That's probably the biggest con of this. So the second you hook that fish, and that fish is, let's say, is running towards you or running sideways, this rod is only bent like I said, the first quarter of it. So think about it as like a shock absorber, but it's only got 1 foot of travel, say, versus a slow rod or moderate rod may be bent over because it's using the whole rod down to the bottom here, down to the first 3/4 of this rod, may have like 3 feet of suspension or whatever you want to call it. I'll call it suspension because that's what I think of.
Yeah.
So
and we're talking about the suspension before you get into the power, right? Because once you get into the power, the fish can rip itself against you, right?
Yeah, I mean, once you set that hook, and with a fast action tip, you only have so much movement. It hits that power, and you only have so much movement. Unless it's a monster fish, of course, and it's got full bendo. But normally with a spotted bay bass, it's got that little bit of play. So you got to be pretty good with the fast action tip to keep that pressure on you. Every time you're on a boat, you hear, "Keep pressure on it. Don't let pressure off. Don't drop your rod tip," or you know what I mean, or don't drop your rod. You want to keep the pressure on it. So this has a lot less leeway than a soft or moderate tip one. Yep. So that's something that's one of the cons of it, because it wants to return to this rested position. That's what the rod wants to do. No matter what happens underneath the water, this rod wants to go back to this rested position. And when it does do that, if you have any slack on there, or you give these fish any type of any second, because this happens in like a second. If you give that fish a slack for like a second, they'll shake their head, and that hook will create a little larger hole in its mouth, just big enough for that barb to throw out. And this happens in a flash. So anytime that you've heard of short strikes maybe, or you lost it, it's mainly because the second you didn't either set that hook in, or that fish has shook it, or the rod has let some slack out because the fish swam in the direction of you, and it is shaken. It's widened that hole just big enough for that barb to come out, and it's vicious underwater. That thing's flying. That bait wants to move out, and it throws it out of its mouth. So that's a con of fast action tip. Now remember the word action, because that's what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about power. We're talking about action.
Okay. Very cool.
All right. So let's talk about moderate and slow. So when is it good for that? Moderate and slow are awesome for multi-hook lures like crankbaits, jerkbaits, axe blades, anything that has treble hooks or multi-hooks. Because most of those things you are throwing. Go ahead.
We got Mr. Todd Burton TV Metal Art in the house, donated $4.99 to the super chat with just straight up stay metal.
Yeah, let's party.
Let's go. Thank you, Todd.
Go.
Just real quick. Sorry to interrupt. tbmetalart.com. Check it out. One of our original supporters of the show. Talk about original support of the show. Thank you, Todd. Beautiful work. tbmetalart.com. All right, back to our normal programming.
If you're wondering what that is right there.
Oh, yeah, he's also doing the trophy for this year. Let's go.
Not right there. If you guys want to earn that, you got to join Spotty Bowl. That's not an easy thing to earn. Trust me. That's Spotty Bowl World Championship trophy right there, baby. Have that thing for the rest of my life.
Nice.
I got a spot for this year's right next year.
Oh, dang.
That's right.
Oh, shoot.
No, I'm just kidding.
If he doesn't get it, he's going to put a question mark in that spot.
Don't make me go on a tangent here.
All right, go. Okay, so moderate, medium rods, why they're important for multi-hook lures.
Right. Okay, so when you go, also think about casting. The action affects casting pretty heavily. You ever see like somebody with a rod and they're like got it all the way back and they're swinging that thing out there and that thing's full bendo and then it comes back and you see that thing sail like a Kevin Akata cast, like a monster cast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
when you go, just think about this rod. When you're casting, all the power, or not, I'm sorry, all the action is in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
So with this rod, you'll notice a lot when I'm casting a lightweight one, it's like you hear that thing whipping. It's like, whoosh, whoosh. You're like throwing it, right?
Yeah.
To get it long casting. I mean, you're like everything you got.
I always
When
like
you
that
go
sound. Sounds like a bottle rocket.
Yeah, I mean, you see the guys with the fast action
Yeah.
tips because you can hear it whipping through the wind because they're giving it everything they got to get it out there. But then you see this guy that's got the slow action tip or the moderate, and he's just like this, and the thing goes a mile further than you are sitting here whipping it. And the reason is because when you bring that back with that slow tip, it uses that rod as like a catapult. It loads up and then throws. A lot of the hard work is done for you. So when you're using those multi-hook lures and you're trying to get that jerk bait and you're trying to get that thing all the way across the bay because you want to cover as much water as you can, that's an excellent time to use that action. You can get a bigger cast, and when you're casting into open water, the sensitivity is not as important as when you're fishing a bottom and you're trying to feel every little nibble, every little bite. You're trying to feel everything. That's when you're using the fast action. But when you're in that open water, you have the time because they'll grab that thing to load up and set that hook. And sometimes you just crank down on it too. You're not even doing it. And when you're in open water too, some of those open water fish are more likely to have those big runs or head towards you maybe. And when you have that moderate rod, it's a big shock absorber. So if that thing takes off towards you, you'll have the ability to catch up that line so it doesn't lose it stays taut all the time because you have that big shock absorber. So for big casts, multi-hook lures, moderate to soft is a good way to go. Not that you can't use these, sorry. My phone is just going nuts tonight.
There's a little switch on the top. It's called silent mode.
I got a new phone for Christmas. I don't even know how to use it. I'm trying to figure. I can't even turn the volume down.
You haven't turned it off since you got it because you don't even know how to turn it on.
I'm just figuring out how to use it.
Let's go, right. Dave Rage.
I keep getting distracted. A lot to say here.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dave Rage got something to say. Dave Rage with a $4.99 super chat. No message. Just let us know he appreciates us. I think. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks,
Glad
Dave
you're here.
Rage. Appreciate that. Thanks for listening to me ramble. So I'm trying to. This is such a hard thing for me to describe, but I'm trying for it. Okay, so I want to recap action. So fast rod or fast action to extra fast is the first quarter till it hits the power. Moderate to slow, you start hitting the power in the second 2/3 or even all the way down to 3/4. So it's like, think of it as loading up.
Yep.
So that is action. I think do we understand action at this point, Ron?
Yeah, we understand action. Moving along. What up, Alvin? Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're enjoying the informative content. Stick around. Get to know the community. These guys are awesome and really open to sharing fishing information. If you have any questions, put it in the chat, and we'll take care of that for you. Keep it going.
So just remember when fast action lure or fast action, extra fast action, that's for that super sensitivity, that quick hook set, vertical fishing, bottom fishing, that type of fishing. Soft, moderate, I know I'm repeating myself, extra bend, multi-hooks, big casts, that type of fishing. You can use either, but that is what that means. That is the purpose of that action. A lot of the rods you buy, like some rods, you don't have a choice. The action is what it is. But like this rod right here, when I order this rod, I think this is a Shimano Zodius. No, this is a Phoenix.
Cal with a $10 super chat saying,
need more dad jokes.
Need
right, let's
more
see here,
dad jokes. One dad joke. Let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, Cal, here we go. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Between us, something smells.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty dad jokey right there.
I'm trying to get better with 2022. 2021's behind me.
So
getting on to my good. I saved all my good ones for 2022.
Oh, nice.
All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, so I think we've talked about action. Does anybody have questions about action? Oh, I know what I was saying. Okay, so some rods, the action is what it is. You know, you want a specific rod. It may only come in fast action. It may not come in moderate or soft. So, but if you have the option with a lot of the higher end rods to pick your action, think about what you're going to be fishing it with, and that may help you with it. If you go to the store and you don't know, it doesn't say what action it is on there. It just says medium heavy. You're like, okay, that's a power. What's the action of this rod? Best way to do it is pick up a couple rods, find a carpet spot, and take the tip of that and press it against the floor, and you can feel when that power is kicking in. Like you press that down, and if it feels like the rod is starting to load up, this is me pressing it on the ground. If it feels like it's starting to load up about a quarter way in, guess what? That's fast action. You're pressing down on that, and it feels like it's loading up about 2/3 the way in, you may be at a moderate or soft. If you push it down and it's an ugly stick and it's bent all the way back here to the real seat, you got a super soft on there. Some of those old school ugly sticks, you'll feel it flex all the way back to here.
That's a good idea for like a Spotty Bowl final event thing, like the reward ceremony, like a game. Action. Like a game. Guess the action on these rods, and you have to like rate them.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's cool. Anyway, let's keep it going.
All right. Something also to throw in this that makes it a major X factor is there's no industry standard. You could have a fast action rod from Phoenix and a fast action rod from Savage Gear, and there is no industry standard on where like the power kicks in at. Every manufacturer's is a little different. So when you get used to a rod, you'll start feeling the action you like, and that's when you can actually start testing them out in the store a little bit. Maybe you can take your old rod with you if you're looking for a specific feel to it. But that's the only way I know how to test the action in a store if it doesn't say it right on there. And you can always ask. And online sometimes has some good answers. It may not be listed on here, but it'll say fast action or moderate action. All right, I think I said the word action enough, huh?
Very nice. Very nice.
All right, let's get on to the next thing about a rod, which is power.
Power. Everybody wants the power. How do I get a rod that has all the power? Is all an option?
All power.
Yeah.
Castle Grayskull, I have the power.
Yeah, it's just a broomstick. It's called a broomstick.
Okay, what is power? So the power is the resistance to the flexing based upon the taper of the rod, which is right here.
Yep.
Tapers down from big to small. So it's based on the taper and the thickness of the wall inside of this blink. So some rods are thicker and they have a bigger taper and maybe a smaller taper, and that's how we're going to judge the power on this.
It's like a tube. So the walls of the tube.
Exactly. So yeah, think of this like a straw. The thicker the straw, the more power it's going to have. And also it depends on that taper. Sometimes, when you pick up like a big seeker rod, the thing's as big as your hand, you're holding a Coke can. When you pick this thing up, it's like a pencil, and that affects the power. Something I'm not going to get into tonight, which I know Coach would want me to, is materials. There's fiberglass, there's carbon fiber, there's composites, there's all kinds of different materials.
Let's start with
here all night
carbon
long.
fiber, go into glass. Yeah, Seeker's got some nice stuff.
So we're not going to get into materials, but that also affects the power, and also affects the diameter, the weight. So we're not going to get into that. I think we'll save that for another night. A simpler conversation on materials made out, and the advantages of fiberglass over a carbon rod or carbon fiber or composite rods. So I'm going to show you really quick, like a difference. Already got it set up here.
Dun, 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 the Christmas tree of rods.
So yeah, this is showing the power of these rods. I'm going to try to show you this as an example here. I have got, hopefully it all doesn't go crashing down on me here. I've got my brand new Never Caught a Fish Seeker rod that we bought together, Roman, with Kevin.
Yeah.
And you can see how little effort it is. Can you see this whole rod?
Yeah.
Right
there, perfect.
You can see how little effort it is to lift up this 12-ounce weight, right?
Yep.
And that's the reason is because this rod has a lot of power. It's rated, I think, all the way up to 50-pound line. So this takes minimal effort, right? Now, if I have the exact same
weight,
stay.
What's the rod? The rod's gonna break.
No,
the little one, not that one. The little one.
I know this is my pride and joy here too.
Oh no!
But for me to hold up this, this
so
weight,
scary. Yeah.
This little rod, does that scare you?
Yeah, it does. I feel like nervous.
That scares me too. it feels awkward.
Yeah.
So that shows the difference between powers on different types of rod. So this right here is a bass rod, and it's specifically designed for a specific weight. If you look on the back here, I showed you earlier, it is designed for up to a, let's see, this is designed up to a 3/8 to 1 ounce. Actually, that's pretty heavy, a heavier rod than two. And this one is designed up to 50 pound, probably, who knows what weight that one's. It doesn't say on the Seekers, but that is an idea, shows you an idea of what different power will do for you. So if you're fishing a bigger fish and you're trying to catch it with this, it is going to be a nightmare. Trust me. Watch my bluefin video when Kevin gives me a rod like this to catch a bluefin.
So it wasn't like that. It was a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger. And when you're fighting a fish on a rod that doesn't have the power to pull that in, it is a nightmare, because you saw how hard it was for me just to hold up that little 12-ounce weight with this, and how easy it was with that. It's because that rod has a bigger power rating. Am I making sense here?
Yes, you are.
So like picking up that 12-ounce weight with that rod is like nothing. I don't even hardly feel it. This one, it's full bend. I'm having a problem lifting it because that one has more power. And how do you know what the power is? Visually, you can tell pretty quick. That rod is thick. It's huge. You obviously see this is rated for a bigger fish. It's probably not going to be catching spotties. I mean, you probably could, but you're not going to feel anything. You catch a spotty on that, it's just going to be a reel in what's on the end of this line. You catch a spotty on this, you're going to set the hook. It's going to have enough bend to keep that thing on the line. That one will not bend. The action is too heavy for that one.
Very nice. Real quick, Ewok, I saw your question. We'll answer your question at the end of this segment.
No, let's go with the question now. Okay. I need a break here.
It's an off-topic one. What color braid do you guys recommend for use for night fishing or use for night fishing? I don't change my braid specifically for night or day fishing. I just use whatever I use during the day. I use that at night. I used to think that I would just forego the leader and tie straight to the lure because it's a braid anyway, and it's dark, they can't see it, until we did our segment on line strengths and abrasion. And even at night now, I fish with leader on braid. So there you go.
Yeah, because the braid, we learned instantly, we had a machine where we were cranking to find out the abrasion resistance, and like a braid was like 2 cranks, it was done. Super. And like 20 cranks to break mono or any other type of leader.
So fish the same setup. Go ahead.
I don't think it matters the color that much. I think it's a visual. I don't know. I always use dark green. That's just my go-to. I always been using. People use fluorescent yellow. They use white. But for me, braid, you want to see it. You want to see when it lays in the water. It's a visual thing for me. So whatever you can see, that's what I'd use. Yeah, white braid, Arnie. White braid, just because you can see it. Yep. Remember, your leader is down by the lure. You're the one looking at that braid. So
I use mostly white braid too, white and green. Cool.
I don't know. I'm a green guy. I don't know why. Every time I pick green. It's just what I'm used to. I need to try something else. All right. So power. Power is basically what the thickness, like we talked about, the power of this rod for what it is rated for, and that is what you need to look at the specs on. When it says medium heavy, that is a medium heavy rod. That rod is set up for a specific line and a specific weight. It goes all the way down to ultralight, all the way up to extra heavy, and a lot in between. So do we have any more questions about power, Roman? I don't know how better to describe power.
Just how do we catch the power?
I have the power.
Is that Chris? Is that my Chris Chapu? Is that my Chris? Chris, is that you? Show me a sign that it's you, Chris. I think if it's a Chris I'm thinking about. That's cool. Anyway, welcome, Chris.
Welcome, Chris. What's up, Joe Hamilton?
No, I don't think it's my Chris.
Let me read through this chat.
Go ahead.
2x4 versus pool noodle. Yeah, exactly. So broomstick, 2x4, pool noodle. Yeah, I mean, there's certain aspects you want to use a broomstick, and there's certain aspects you want to use a noodle. I don't use the noodle rods a lot because I'm a bass fisherman, so I mainly am with the fast action tips.
Very cool. Nice.
Yellow and white. Yeah, a lot of people go with yellow and white braid, huh?
Yeah.
Oh. Green. So power. Okay, let's sum this up real quick. So action is the flex of the rod. Think of the flex, right? And the power is a resistance to the flex. So action, the flex actual where it bends, how far, and the power is how much resistance it's giving that flex. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So I thought that the power was
It's the resistance.
Yeah.
So like this one has a lot of resistance because it's got a heavier diameter and also a thicker wall.
Yeah.
Maybe even solid wall.
Yeah.
So that would be the resistance it's giving you, the resistance that it needs to get that extra power. And action is the actual flex of it, how it bends, where it bends to get back to the rested position.
Very cool. Yeah, Chris, that might have been it. Yeah, that might have been it, Chris. That's awesome. Cool. All right.
It was a hard subject for me to describe.
It's hard. It's hard to describe the concept of power. I think. Yeah. It's like when you're talking about electricity, it's hard to describe. It's the hardest concept, I guess, for people that are learning about electronics to grasp is voltage. Because current is the flow of electrons, right? Amperage is how much power you actually used, right? And then
there you go.
Voltage is if you're talking about if you make it like kind of like if you're talking about plumbing, it's the pressure, right? It's the
versus volume.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So voltage is would be like the amount of pressure that's on a pipe, or the amount of anyway. It's just it's a hard concept to grasp with the power. But anyway,
my
I think
advice,
you did a good job.
If I didn't explain it quite to where it like clicked in your head, read the article I told you about, written by Eddie Tyler for Bass Resource. It's the best article I could find. I read this years ago about this, and it's a really good article. And he's a rod maker, and he has a really good way with words on describing how all this works.
That's right, Arnie. Voltage is the push. That's right. It's like the pressure. Like if you take it like if you say like if you're doing plumbing, pressure would be the voltage of it. It's same as I guess you say. Electricity has voltage is the pressure that makes it move, and pressure is what makes water move in the pipe. Very cool. Very cool. Man, we'll get all kinds of.
Just remember,
kinds of learning.
Power. Two different things on a rod. Flex, resistance. Just remember that. And one day you're going to be fishing, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, look at that. That does feel like there's the power. There's the action. Now I know what's going on here. I can feel that, you know?
Very
so
nice.
when you're buying those expensive rods, when you're buying those high-end rods, that's what you're paying for, guys. You are paying for that fast action tip. You're paying for that lightweight material. You're paying because they can make that rod the size of your pinky, and that thing can wheel in a 10-pound fish.
Yeah,
you're paying for all that.
Yeah, you want more power with less weight. It's like everything else. Like you want to buy a mountain bike, you want it to be under 10 pounds. It's going to cost a lot more because you have all these parts that are extra light but just as strong or stronger. Cool.
Yeah. You know, they make a rod too that was interesting to me. It's a Daiwa through line rod. It's almost like a sabiki rod, but it has only one guide and it goes through and out the tip.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Interesting. Have you seen those rods?
Yeah. I borrowed one from Wayne CCA. It's cool. It's cool. I like that because it's like convenient. And you don't snag yourself getting in and out of your kayak.
I gotta look into getting one of those. This sounds interesting to me. It sounds like it'd be a good idea. Does it cast good?
I mean, they don't. It's just they're designed so they could just drop them next to the boat and get your bait to catch bait, right?
No, they actually make a bass rod version of it.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, they make no, I'm not talking about the sabiki rod. I'm talking about an actual bass rod with no guides, made by Daiwa.
I'm gonna have to give Salty a raise. It's like over there swinging that band hammer like a maniac. Sorry, Salty. We made it though. Tim Garcia, what's up, dude? Welcome to the show. Does the handle make any difference in casting?
Absolutely.
Great question.
I ran out of time, but I was going to talk about handle. So all right, let's take. We don't care if we go to an hour and a half tonight, do we?
I don't. We got incoming though. Give me a second. Oh, right on cue. What up, Joe Diego with the $5 super chat. Let's go. Hey, it says with little Shiba doggy. Yeah, very cool.
What's up, Joe Diego?
What's up, Joe? Welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how the handle, if the handle makes a difference in casting. Let's go full screen.
All right, first thing you notice is when you get. All right, I'm gonna try to get out a rod here that is.
What up, Amir? Welcome.
Oh my gosh, it's a 14-foot. I'm never gonna get this on full screen. But okay, this is my basically shore rod, my beach casting rod. Everybody's got one of these in the garage.
That's so funny, dude.
It actually wasn't very expensive, but it's a 3-piece rod. And if you think about how I'm going to cast this thing, am I going to cast this like a bass rod, Roman? Am I going to bring it back? No, it's actually got this long handle for a reason, because you can actually grab it by 2 hands. And we've all seen the video of the guy with this, it's almost like a trebuchet or a catapult. So
like a.
Yeah, you launch it. So handles do make a difference. That is a major extreme. This is like an extreme handle, super long, super big.
So along the lines of that answer there, sometimes you could buy a blank that's a certain length, and depending on where you want not the action. What's the other one? Where you want the action to start. How far along the blank you want the action to start, you can cut it and make it and put the handle on and adjust for wherever you feel. Once you're at that level where you want an action to be a specific point on a specific point of the rod, then you'll know how much of the back end to cut off so that the action is right where you want it. Right.
Yeah, custom rods. You start getting into that. That's a whole new world.
Yeah.
But if you can customize your rods to where they fish perfect for you. I've never had a custom rod. I'd love to have. Oh, actually,
except for that one behind you. Except for that one. It was
customized by Kevin, not by me. So I'm fishing Kevin's specs, but I'm assuming they're really good. Kevin knows what he's doing. All right, let's get back to that handle. So handles. So look at these 2 handles, Roman. One has a butt end that's really long, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The handle portion of it's really long. This is really short. Okay, this is my A-rig rod, or one of my A-rig rods, and this right here is one of my vertical fishing rods. Yep. And one of the things you're going to do with the A-rig rod is you got to have that ability to grab like a second point of contact that is a little longer. It works, and your pendulum point's a little higher up, your hand up here, so you can get those big, long bomber casts out of it. Now, if I was trying to do the same thing with one with a short handle, you could see you just don't get that leverage. The pivot point's a little off. So that affects more of the casting to me than anything. And with like this rod right here, if I'm like, say, pitching, hitting those pylons, pitching those docks, I don't want that gigantic long handle right here.
Hitting your arm, hitting like the top of your arm when you're pitching
it. Because I'm really only fishing in like 20 feet of water, so I'm just flipping that thing in, and I want it right when I feel that fish to just set it. Versus the A-rig, if I feel that fish, I'm gonna make sure it's loaded up. I got this thing under my ribs, under my arm, and I'm swinging that power into that fish. So the handle makes a big difference on the hook set, and also on what type of. These rods are all over the place. On what?
I'm surprised Deke is over there like swatting at them,
bouncing on my behind. So the handle, to me, yes, it does affect casting, especially if you're casting a heavy lure. Like when I brought out that 5-ounce A-rig to Mary Magnets, I was asking people to cast on this rod, it felt way like the power of the rod was not big enough for that. It was a joke. I brought it out as a joke so you could do it. But you could tell that the power and the handle weren't quite right because the pendulum point wasn't right for that weight. And we're trying to cast it so far. So yeah, handle does make a difference.
That's funny.
Nice. Thank you for that question. I should have hit on handles.
Yeah, good question. That was a good question. All right, coming back. Split screen. All right. Moving on, boys.
Oh, Aaron is learning to do his own custom rods. Awesome.
Nice. Do you have a rod rolling station? I guess what is it? Rod.
Yeah. The good thing about owning one of those too is you can do rod repair. Like I do my own. I've been starting to do my own guide.
Well, you have one?
I do the old fashioned way. I just do it by hand. So I don't have a roller or anything. They don't turn out like the purist is going to look at my repair and be like, what's that?
Yeah.
It's a repair done by me for free. But,
it's like that even like the fishing line or something else.
That's a good show. Let's do that. I'm going to repair a guide live on one of these shows. We're going to repair a guide just so you can actually just go out and buy the guide separately, like Angler's Choice.
Yeah, Angler's Choice.
They have bins and bins of guides.
I have a video that I did the other day with them because I was there trying to get guys. I'm brutal on my rods. I'm not gonna lie. I throw them in the back of I leave my kayak most of the time, and I put them in the side guides. It's like basically tubes that go in the side of my pro angler, and just shove them in there, and the tip eventually wears off and it breaks off. So one of my rods, I've broken the tip like 2 times. I got it replaced this last time at Angler's Choice.
Does it get an inch shorter every time?
No,
Or is
just the legs of the
gotcha.
guide bend and break eventually.
The shoulder and the leg.
Yeah, the shoulder will break off of the eye.
Hey, see?
Right?
You learned something
There you
now,
go.
right?
Yeah, the legs will break off the shoulders.
And then you have to. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So I took it to Angler's Choice. They heat it up, pulled it off, measure it with like little gauge, and they go to their bin, like you said. That's what reminded me of it. Go to their bin, find a tip for you. Super fast. They do it cheap. It's like I forget how much it was, but it's super cheap, and like they do it like in 10 minutes, if they're not busy. So
that's the tip. I'm talking about also replacing the guides.
Oh
So
yeah, I don't think they'll do that quick, but
I'm going to teach you how to do it, Roman, because you'll be surprised how easy it is to replace one.
you'll be
We're
surprised.
going to do that live on a show.
All right, cool.
It won't look perfect. It won't look like
It's
it's from the
like
factory.
you'll hold it. You're like there you go.
No, we
there you
can
go.
line it
I'm
up.
done. And you hold it up like this to look down the guides, and you see that one guide's like all cockeyed to the side.
Oh, come on. We're better than that.
It's kind of there. All right. It's like, is that an acid wrap? No, it's not an acid wrap.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. All right. If there's no more questions, I love answering these questions. Any more questions? I'm going to move on to PB shout outs.
Alvin, that's a good point.
Teach me how to.
Alvin said he's a firm believer in rod covers and reel covers on all the rods and reels. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Alvin, me too. I'm being converted. I need to take care of my stuff, so I've updated my process from leaving them in the kayak to taking them out of the kayak and letting them ride with me up front in the cab, and I just kind of put my arm around them when I'm driving down the road in my truck. Hold on, let me go full screen for this.
So
I'm
yeah,
like-
if
I go like this. I go like this. I go, and I put my arm around them, and then just kind of keep driving, see what happens.
What was it, about a month or so ago? We did an episode on Fishy Hour where we learned how to make a rod stock for like $1.
Yeah.
And we were making these things at Mary Macmas. So if you're into rod stocks and you have 20 rods, you don't want to buy 20 rod holders for $8 each. There's an episode you can go back on. I think it's called Arts and Crafts, where we make these for $1 each.
There you go.
So we've got a bunch of them. All right, let's move on. If there's no more questions, to our
Final
segment of the show,
segment
called
of the show.
PB shout out.
PB shout outs,
Right,
just for the
I'm gonna
record.
go to screen share.
I see Sound Fishing is in the house. What up, Sound Fishing?
Wait
Sound
a second
Fishing.
here.
Sound Fishing, Anthony. Welcome back.
What do you call a couple of chimpanzees sharing an Amazon account?
I don't know. What?
Primates.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Not
Very nice.
okay.
I
I'm
see
gonna go to
Sound-
screen share here.
I see Sound Fishing in the house. What up, Anthony? Welcome back. Guys, I didn't realize that Sound Fishing was making fishing content as well. So he's got a channel, Sound Fishing, right there. Hello in the chat. Go check him out. Go check out his channel. Say what's up, and give him a sub if you so like his content. He's been a long time viewer of the show, and he helped us out with the intro music that you're about to hear. So if you need some sound work, also hit him up. Does good work. Here we go. Right, Brian?
I'm ready. Let's rip.
I gotta do air guitar.
We've seen you out on the water. They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shout Out!
Oh, wrong one.
Nice.
Whoa. Here we go. There
That
it
was
is.
right.
Yay! We do.
What?
Just kidding. Let's go. What up, Cal? Cal in the house
get a
there
song?
with the double sand bass. Nice.
There's Cal. Yeah.
Salty Cat Queen in the
That's our
house.
poster boy. All right,
Yeah.
PB shoutouts. If you don't know what PB shoutouts is, every Wednesday on Fishy Hour we have PB shoutouts. If you want to have a fish on PB shoutouts, direct message Brian Likes to Fish. That is me on Instagram or on Discord. Show me your best picture of that fish. Hopefully, show me a picture of you holding that fish too, and give me a little story, and you'll be on PB shoutouts. First PB shoutout goes to. Let's see who we got here. Ooh, looks like a largemouth. So that's a big
That's a
largemouth.
fat one. Holy. Oh, deduction. Mouth open.
Yeah, mouth's open. Sorry.
And lure in mouth. Is that a line coming out of his mouth? Where's the lure? Is it in his mouth? He choked it.
Yeah, we're going to go through this. All right, so our very own Savage Gear rep, Kevin Nakata, caught this guy on a extra heavy rod. He doesn't specify what rod, but extra heavy, and we know why, because that's a big fish right there. He caught it with 30-pound braid, 25-pound fluorocarbon, and with a 8-inch Savage Gear trout slow sink bait. So there's that bait right in his mouth. So if you guys are used to spotties, and you've never caught a big largemouth,
it's surreal.
When you catch your first, let's just say 5+ pound largemouth, and you actually see how big a largemouth mouth is open, you are going to be shocked.
Yeah,
I mean, this fish like here looks at least to me probably I don't know, Kevin, how did you weigh this thing? It looks like about a 6-pounder to me, maybe a little bigger.
Look at the shadow it's casting on the floor.
But when you get into those type of fish, you would think an 8-inch bait, right? You look at that bait and you're like, what the heck is going to eat that? It's going to take a monster fish to eat that. But now when you see that bait in this fish's mouth, it looks like a French fry in there. These largemouth fish can hammer these big baits. So don't be afraid to fish those big baits. There is actual bait he's using.
BTSC,
which is a Savage Gear. Yep.
8 foot, extra heavy.
RTF trout slow sink, 8-inch.
I have that rod right now. Oh,
and here's a picture of the one and only holding that thing. You know, that thing may be bigger. Yeah. That may be about a 7 or 8 pounder. That thing's pretty big now. I see it like that, unless his arms are really long. But don't be afraid to throw those. So I think I told you guys about this conversation I had Kevin a while back about how I was fishing like finesse stuff and catching big stuff. But I would have to go through so many fish to get like a trophy bass because you go through a lot of small fish. He goes out there and throws that 8-inch bait specifically looking for fish like that. Yeah. You may only get one all day or none, or it may take you a week to get one of those. But when you throw baits like that out, you are targeting 4+ pound fish, the big fish. So you're not weeding through a bunch. You're just out there monster hunting.
Yeah, very nice.
There he is again. He likes that fish. Look at that smile.
Yeah, stoked.
He's happier then than he was on his wedding day. Look at him.
Ouch.
Sorry. That was a dad joke. All right.
Yeah.
Next up.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
We got Eric the Judge Lehman. He caught this. This is his PB Spotty. It was a playoff battle for 5th and 6th last year during Spotty Bowl. He caught this on a slow pitch jig near the North Ingram Street Bridge. It was a 20-gram Amazon jig, he says. He caught it on a Phoenix feather with a 2,500 size Shimano Nasi, which he just lost this week. The rod and reel, I guess, in Shelter Island. Oh. So that fish right there is a monster.
Oh, that's
nice. That is a big spotty right there. This is this picture of the same fish. 2.68 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So
destroyed
2.68 pound fish. I would say if you caught 1,000 spotties, like you fish nonstop, I bet you less than 5 of those would be this big. It's hard, guys. It's harder than you think to get a 2.68 pound spotty. Congratulations, Eric.
Yeah, awesome, Eric. Congratulations.
And the length on that thing, I believe, was 17 inches. And it's 17 inches with a gut. And that's how you get to that. Because you can get a 17-inch with a big head and a skinny body, and that thing's like a 1.98 pound or a 1.24. But to get that 2.68, that's a big fish. Congratulations, Eric. Good fish. Best fish of the year. Next up, we got Cal. Cal sent me a bunch of fishes. Is that how you say that? Fishes? Fish? Fisher? You there? Hello?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Fishes? If it's like money. If it's 2 types of monies, like your savings money and your spending money, then you say monies or retirement monies, right? If it's 2 species of fish, then you say the fishes, I think.
I don't know. Cal, double fisting as normal. He's got 2 fish up there. Looks like he got some rockfish out on a boat. There's his sand bass. I know Cal was getting really good at fishing that slow pitch jig this year. Good job on that, Cal. Bet you anything that was caught by the bait barge. Is that a yellowtail?
It's a little yellowtail. The first 5 can be any size.
That's right. There you go. So Cal's double fisting yellowtails. Got himself a Corvina there on the same type of slow pitch jig. Yeah. Looks like all right. This is my goal when I see these pictures, is to figure out exactly where he's at. Let me take a guess here, Cal. You're right by your work. Looks like you're right by your work. Am I right?
Nope. Move it along. Move it along. Okay. Cal knows how to take a pic with fish. So nice. Yep.
Yeah, he does. All right. Here's me and Cal.
Oh, that's cool.
Cal went sheephead hunting one day before the season's. Is season over now?
Yeah. I mean, the season's for.
There they are. That was probably my last sheephead of the season. Then me and Cal went out there, had a great time on the boat. Cal always slaying it. Good job, Cal. There's some nice fish this year. Next up, we got an MMFC record 16.5-inch spotty from Dave Rage. If you guys want to set an MMFC record, you may say, hey, I've caught a bigger fish than that. But you know what? If you don't submit it in the MMFC records, that's in our Discord, it doesn't get recognized. So go through those records and start setting. I know some people have been catching fish that beat records, or records are vacant and they're not submitting them in there. So start filling those records up. Dave Rage, 16-inch. He caught this. Hold on a second. He caught this a 16-inch spotty. Caught Saturday when they went out for their group pre-fish. He caught it in the Spanish Landing docks using a Z-Man, Ned head. He thinks it was 1/5 and a 2.75 Z-Man TRD Tickler Z Canadian Crew color. Ooh, that's a lot.
That's a good one.
What's a Ned rig? Rod and reel was a Bass Pro Shop Frigid combo, 7 foot. And here he goes. A medium power, fast action. Now, do you know what that is, Roman? Now we all know what that is.
I mean, I knew that before the show, but yeah, now we all know.
Yeah, we all know now.
And knowing medium is power, half the battle.
Fast action. So Max. With that Ned rig, you want that fast action, I'm assuming, right? Because you want to set that hook quick. 2500. The reel is a 2500 with 8-pound P-line fluoro he had left over. I caught the fish. That's the only fish he caught of the day. And he lost another and because of a bad knot. So, hey, if you're going to catch one fish, shoot, might as well be a 16-incher, right?
Yeah.
So good job. You got the MMFC record on there. And, okay, I wanted to show this. Okay, this is a reason you take 2 photos, too. If you catch a fish like that, and especially if you're in a tournament, you can see he's got his code in the picture, right, on his hand.
Yep.
And you can see the fish looks good, mouth closed. You can see the tail. You can see everything nice and clearly, although your cable's kind of drooping right there. Here's the other picture he submitted. I don't think he knew it, but what is wrong with that picture?
In the chat, let us know.
What is wrong with that picture? This picture, if you would have submitted this and caught that awesome fish in Spotty Bowl and submitted this would only be counted as a 14-inch fish. Because?
That sucks. That's a lot. Because its mouth is open. Yep.
There you go. Yep, Joe, because the mouth is open. So I want to show you that. That's the correct way you want it. And he took like 2 quick pictures and the spotty just breathed really quick to open his mouth or something. But that's why when you get a big fish like that, my advice would be take at least 2 or 3 pictures of it, examine them, and then send your best one over to Eric.
Very cool.
There you go. And there's Dave Rage. I don't know what this is. National Geographic caught him out there.
What is this? Someone had like a telescopic lens from the shore, like just creeping on people. What's up?
I googled Dave Rage on Google Maps, and this came up. All right. Next up, we got Salty Dangler. That's not salty.
That's not salty.
Okay,
that's old,
Salty
isn't it?
Dangler had quite a year. He caught,
okay. That's right.
This is on a kayak too. He caught a Mako with a live sardine. I'm sorry, with a large. Let me start over. He caught a Mako in La Jolla, fly lining a live Mac. So I mean that's a pretty exciting catch when you feel something tug in. You think it's a bonita. You think you got something pretty good on there, and all of a sudden that comes up looking at you.
That's creepy.
Yeah,
it's looking at him right there.
Yeah. Next fish he caught that he's sharing for 2021 was an angel shark.
Roman's favorite fish.
You know how rare it is to catch an angel shark on a rig?
That's a world record right there.
That could have been, yes. But it's a huge angel shark. Caught it on the A rig. I think he caught that trolling in San Diego Bay.
It's probably the same
And
one I
then he
caught.
sent me all of his major Halleys he caught this year. He's caught
Nice.
27s. He caught 28s. He caught all
Whoa.
kinds of Halleys. He caught him, looks like almost a 28 and a half
GGs.
there. So obviously Salty had a great year. Congratulations on all the giant halibuts. And our last fish of PB shoutouts tonight goes to Marvin.
Let's go, Marvin. Look at that thing. You play
Jeez, I know.
you play
How
the,
come you didn't?
you play
How
the,
come you didn't measure that thing?
what is that? Is that what is that called?
That's a shovel nose guitar fish.
That's right. You could have played the intro to PB shoutouts on that fish.
Hello, Rick.
Where is it? Just hold it up and pretend like you're playing air guitar.
That's a big one.
That's
It's been
huge.
a long time. It's been years since I've caught one that big.
That's as big as a real
Okay,
shovel.
so this is Marvin, caught on June 10th, 2021 at the Crystal Pier on a live Mac, but he said it died after about 20 minutes soaking in there, so it probably sucked up. It was dead by the time that thing sucked it in.
Oh.
He caught it on a Penn Spinfisher V80 with Power Pro 60 pound and a 40 pound. That's why he's catching those. See, if I hook up with that, my line all of a sudden just snaps, and I wonder what that was. It's probably one of those. But he was set up 60 pound
Damn.
Power Pro with a 40 pound big game leader, 3/0 Mustad circle hook. The rod he used was a Penn Rampage, 20 to 40 pound. Here we go. Medium fast. So now we know what that is. Medium fast action. The fight was my PB size for overall species ever. So that's his heaviest, biggest fish ever.
Wow.
The rod was very bent. I had never experienced a rod butt in bend like that. Made 4 or 5 good runs, took off for 30 to 40 yards at a time.
Wow.
The fish at the end of the pier, to get the fish to the pier, took about 20 minutes. It took another 5 minutes once he got it to the surface to tie on an iron and pull that thing up, I guess with paracord. Had to have somebody actually assist him to get that thing up. I bet that thing's super heavy too.
Dang.
Right after he released it back to its home, he realized he forgot to weigh it. Dang. Had a
Oh.
scale. So he did not get a weight on that. Looking up some stuff on the internet, he says he found one that was similar at 54 inches, which that's pretty accurate. And he said it weighed 47 pounds, the one picture he saw online. So he estimates that thing at about 45, 47 pounds and almost 5 feet long.
That's awesome.
Crazy. His previous PB before this, Roman, was a 4-pound largemouth. So man, 4-pound largemouth is nice though. But hey, that's a great PB right there. Congratulations on that, Marvin. And that is the end of PB shoutouts.
Nice job. That's cool. Hey guys, thanks for submitting that stuff. It gets the stoke going, and reminds us of why we're out there fishing, the experiences and the cool catches and all the stories that go along with that. So thank you for sharing that with everybody.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Okay. Whew. If you guys don't know, I'm beating Corona right now as you guys are looking at me, by the way. I got coronavirus on Saturday.
You can't say that on YouTube. You gotta say the thing. Oh, you just cough on me?
Scaring Roman here. But my symptoms were mild. I'm getting over it, so I'm making it through this show. It was kind of a hit or miss for me if I was going to be able to do this, but I was feeling good today, so let's boogie. Let's get on with the thing we're all waiting for.
You're already vaccinated, right?
That's right.
All right, cool.
Mild symptoms. I've been sucking down vitamins. I'm good to go.
Nice. Oh, and your quarantine ends today.
My quarantine. Hold on a second here. Dink's about to attack. Take that, Dink. If you guys could see what goes on outside of the camera, it's chaos. That's chaos around here with these cats. All right. I'm going to go ahead and change my background here real quick, Roman, because I think we all know where I'm going.
To the bat cave. I was going to say on Eric's hat, it was hard for me to figure out who did that. Like I think you're in the same tool now, the same program.
That's right, man. I got this new video game from Nintendo called Mario Paint. It came with a mouse and everything, and I figured out how to do graphics on that.
Mario Paint. When I was a kid, I wanted that so bad, dude.
Mario Paint.
Yeah. I saved up and I bought it, and I was like so happy to be able to draw on the screen. It was.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
It took
I
me
remember
back.
that came out. Still is a big deal.
Uh-huh.
That's what I use. No, it came from all my years of animation training at Disneyland that I've done for many, many times.
Yeah, they
So,
gave you a copy
if
of
you
the
guys are
animation
wondering.
software. Yeah.
If you're wondering, yeah, I'm classically trained from Disneyland. All right. So at the end of the show, we like to do something fun. I like movies. Roman likes movies, 80s and 90s movies normally, because that's my type of movies. Okay, I got a question for you, Roman. Did you watch the Book of Boba Fett?
No, don't.
Oh.
No, it's only one episode out right now, right?
Well, yeah, it's one episode. If you guys have Disney Plus, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Disney, for continuing pumping Star Wars at me. I mean, we got Mandalorian.
I'm
We
watching.
got all these animated series.
I'm watching the what's it called? The odd ones. Oh no, the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch. The animated series.
Animated series.
Because
Yeah.
it's all out. I'm gonna wait on the story of Boba Fett or the book of Boba Fett until it's all out. Cave Dog with the $10 super chat. What? Yay, movie reviews. What up, Cal? Thank you, Cal.
Cal.
Dude, you're awesome.
What's up, Cal?
Very cool.
Cheers.
Oh, a second pop top. Let's go. Yeah. I don't want to. You can recommend it, but I don't want to hear anything about it until the whole series is out, so I can watch it all at once.
Oh my gosh, guys! Book of Boba Fett. If you liked Mandalorian, you're gonna love this one.
Nice.
It's good. That's all I'm gonna say, because I
Perfect.
know I'm not giving out any spoilers. I'm just gonna say, thank you, Disney, for keeping Star Wars going. And man, I cannot wait to see the Obi-Wan series, and I cannot wait to see the Willow series that Disney's putting out.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, life is good right now, Roman. Life is Star Wars good. All right.
Shout out to Hyder, dude. Hyder on the road somewhere. Let's go. Get it. Drive safe, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us still on the road trip. Let's go, road trip.
That's right, Cal. The episode was short. I was like, oh no, it's over. Now I gotta wait a week. I forgot what that's like. You're used to binging now. You're like, next episode until you fall asleep. But now Disney I kind of like it. They make us wait a week. Like we get to think about it or watch it twice. You know what I mean?
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like.
You don't like that? You like to just get it over.
I don't like cliffhangers anymore, dude. I'm just like, give me the dang story. Don't leave me hanging. You know,
You've been patient.
I invested. No, it's not impatient. I see it like as a respect thing. Respect my time. If I like your show, if your
man.
show is good enough, I will watch the whole thing. You'd have to leave me in a
but TV
cliffhanger.
shows back in the day, at the very end, it would have that to be continued, or like, Star Trek Next Generation. And you'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, but tune in next time for the end of this show, because we're not gonna finish the rest of this. See, it's kind of like rude. Like, finish your thought. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take whatever Disney will give me. Star Wars. All right. So I like movies. You like movies. I'm gonna go ahead and review a couple movies.
Let's go.
Okay, first movie coming up. When I heard about this coming out as a kid, I got super excited. I'm like, oh, they're gonna make a sequel to that, and it's a movie that everybody had seen, The Wizard of Oz, right? We've all seen that. And then when you found out they're gonna make a sequel, you're like, what the heck? How could they do that? And they came out with this movie called Return to Oz.
Nice.
Have you seen this, Roman?
No, I haven't seen it.
It is on, I believe, Disney Plus right now. It used to be super rare to find this movie, but now that it's on streaming services, I have everything, you can watch this right now.
Does that movie have an ending?
Return to Oz is one of those movies, to me, it almost feels like a Tim Burton movie. It's very strange.
Cool.
Like it's the characters are completely different than the original Wizard of Oz. It's a little darker. If you go into the mindset with you think you're going to see Toto and Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow, and you think it's just going to be them carrying on to a new. This is totally different. It is nothing like the original. There's scenes in this that are like, there's these guys called the Wheelers that they make this noise when they're going through these tunnels, like this creeping noise that is something like Tim Burton would do. It's like a creepy noise, and as a kid, it stuck with me. And this movie, when I first saw it in the theater, I didn't quite understand it. But as I got older, I watched it again. I've watched it several times, and it started to grow on me. When I first saw it, I was like, ugh, I wanted to see, the original Scarecrow. I want to see the dancing and the singing. You know what I mean? Like the original. Don't expect that out of this. It's a weird Tim Burton style, creepy kind of version of it. But if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth seeing it. If you have kids, it's a kids movie too. Of course, you have to watch the first Wizard of Oz and then watch this one. but I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 max, only because it has weird replay and it's like a creepiness to it.
Cal said you look like you're in a Tim Burton movie right now.
Because of the way I look.
Because a robot
What are you
shop,
saying?
the robot
Okay.
shop in the background, making some creepy robots back there.
Eric, how many shrugs do you give that one? No, Eric.
Eric left the building.
All right. Next movie up. I can't remember if I reviewed this like a year and a half ago, but I may have. So I'm sorry if this is the same movie I've reviewed twice. But I love this movie. This movie came out in 1985. I'm sorry, 1981, which to me is like 1981 to 1986. That's the pinnacle of movies. We had Star Wars, we had Back to the Future, we had
Bloodsport,
all these
Kickboxer,
awesome
Bloodsport,
movies.
Kickboxer 2, Universal
Was
Soldier,
Probably, I mean, there's
Lionheart.
some kind of something that happened in the
Double
80s.
Impact.
These movie producers and these directors, I don't know, like how they came up with so many. Because now everything seems like it's done. I mean, how many Spider-Man movies have they made in like the past 5 years? But it just seems like back then, like the original concept of like Back to the Future, was so original, and it was just so cool to see that kind of stuff. And now it seems like we get a lot of sequels or a lot of remakes.
Got a lot of superheroes.
I like superhero
I
movies.
like. Don't get me wrong. I like superheroes, Brian. I'm gonna go split screen with you on this real quick. I like superheroes. Okay, I love superheroes, but I love me some Jean-Claude Van Damme action movies where the whole first third of the movie is set up, and you get to watch the action hero work and get good at something. Right, you get to watch the training montages. Rocky,
You get to see 'em.
right? Rocky just show up in the ring, like, oh, I'm a superhero. Oh, I'm a superhero. Boom, knock the guy out. No, he shows up, does the work, chases some chickens around. Gets to
down a palm tree.
get agile. Kick down a palm tree. Whatever training montage. Insert training montage clip here. That's what you need.
Don't forget
You
the
teach these
80s music.
kids that it takes work to get good. You can't just be born a superhero. Okay, done. Going back to you.
Yeah, so there was a time period from 81 to 86 where all those movies came out, and it was golden. I think maybe now this generation, the young generation now, may look back at this Marvel as like, hey, we were getting all this crazy Marvel movies, and that may be their big thing, these superhero movies. But for me,
That's a good point, Peter.
what's the point?
That Tony Stark wasn't always a superhero. He worked through a lot of work and money too, but like through a lot of experimentation
money helped,
and creating.
He had a lot of connections.
Yeah, and he was intelligent. He worked on himself to get to that level, right? So that's good. Yeah, Tony Stark had to work, right? Good. All right, let's go.
Rest in peace, Tony Stark. All right, so where was I? Oh yeah, 1981.
Wait,
This
he
movie
dies?
came out-
I haven't seen those movies yet, Brian. I was kidding.
Oh come on!
I'm just
You
kidding.
haven't
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay. You better have seen that.
Yeah, Batman also. Yeah. Batman's got some good training montages. I love the one where they have
Batman
the
Begins.
ninja training in the
Yeah.
with Liam Neeson. That's a good one. The League of Shadows.
Yeah, you know what else they used to have too, besides that kind of montage, is like when they were fixing up a house, they would just put on some 80s music like a Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
20 minutes later, they got a
Yes.
whole remodeled house. They'd show you how they whatever. Where are we going with this? All right, let's get back on here. This movie came out. I saw the preview back then on TV. If you were lucky enough to see because you had to be watching TV, you couldn't go on YouTube and watch a trailer back then, right? So most of the trailers for a movie that you would see upcoming movies would be in the theater. So the first, right before the movie started, you'd see, oh my gosh, that's coming out. And then you would wait to see a trailer on TV, which would be so exciting. Like if you actually saw Star Wars on your TV screen, you're like, oh my gosh, because there was no YouTube. You couldn't rewind. You couldn't just look up trailers. And I saw this trailer on TV, and it looked like a medieval kind of, which I love that genre, medieval times kind of movie. But it had little people in it too, which was super exciting to me. And that is Time Bandits. Have you seen Time Bandits?
That's a good one. That's crazy.
I think I may have reviewed this, but I have to review it again. Time Bandits is about a movie where they have a map that can take them at different periods, kind of time periods. And it's a group of a kid and a bunch of guys that go through all these different time periods. Also like a weird Tim Burton movie, especially when you get to the end and they get to this weird dungeon. And it's got these weird creatures that are tall and
That's cool.
bug-like, and it's a really cool science fiction movie. If you haven't seen Time Bandits, I like this so much, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 max. Check that out.
Ooh, wow.
And last movie, I'm doing a more modern movie, 2009. This is Zombieland. I'm not going to say much about this.
That's a good one.
Everybody's seen this.
Cool
But if you guys have a movie where you just want to sit down and it's a zombie movie, but it's not really like a horror movie. It's a lot of comedy in it. It has Woody Harrelson in it. 2009. They have a part 2, which is just as good. Zombieland. I definitely recommend this. 4 out of 5 max. I guarantee if you watch this, you'll laugh and you'll think that movie was cool because it's just one of those movies that's just cool. So with
hilarious.
that moment, I think I've rambled enough about
That's
movies.
awesome.
Hopefully you got your money's worth, Cal.
Cal's like gave 3 shrugs and put the little emojis on there. That's so funny. 3 shrugs from the judge. Also, I noticed that Hyder's on his way to Texas. Is that what's going on, Hyder? I'll get your number from Ryan. Oh yeah, dude, that's cool. So maybe All-Nighter Hyder gonna meet up with Oscar in Texas when he's down there. Maybe they go do some redfish fishing or something. That's cool.
That's awesome. Send some
let us know if you
pictures.
guys end up fishing together. That's super cool.
Take some pictures of his yak.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, with that, this weekend I'm gonna be up fishing Newport, some new waters up there, fishing for the SBS tournament pre-fish. So if you guys are up in Newport on Saturday, that's where I'll be. I'll be up there snagging grass and catching bass. I'll talk to you later, Roman. Later, guys.
Once again, thank you, Brian, for helping us get this show done today on Wednesdays. Guys, if you guys enjoyed the show, come back here Monday, Wednesday. Monday is me hanging out, talking about the latest fishing scene and catching up with Coach Worf on conditions, the catches, the fish counts, surface temperature reports. And if you have any fishing questions, perfect place to ask. Wednesdays, bait fishing with Roman and Brian. As you see, Brian prepares some educational content, you could say, and we catch you up with what's going on in the scene and with our club. And if you have any questions on either of those episodes, Mondays or Wednesdays, it's always open-ended. You can always ask a question at any time in the chat, and we will address those questions for you. Hyder, I don't know if you want to put your number on the screen. I'll leave it up for a second so Oscar can copy it, but then we're going to delete the comment. Don't delete it just yet, guys. Let Oscar copy that number, and then you can delete it. There you go. Cool. There you go. Thanks, Salty. And then I don't want you to get too many prank calls, Header. All right, cool. Yeah, it threw me off. It threw me off. So, yeah. That's all we have for you today, and we'll be back here on I'll be back here on Monday for Fishy Hour, and then tomorrow Muto's doing a show, Submission Fishing Co. Check him out on YouTube. Go, I think it starts at 7 as well, so 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go check him out. MMFC member, really cool dude in the club, generous guy with his time and his knowledge. Go check out his channel. As for me, I'll see you guys on Monday if I don't see you out in the water this weekend. So have a good week, and go get them this weekend, guys. Remember, Spotty Bowl is coming up here quick. So if you haven't signed up yet, spottybowl.com. Good night, guys. Oh, yeah. Woo! Let's go! Let me end this video. There we go. All right. Woo. Woo.